app couldn't.
Oh, it
Okay,
says
it
live.
says I'm live, but it's
live.
hang on a second. Oh, okay. Hello. Yikes.
Well,
Okay. How do I not make myself so big? Oh, you just scroll over people. I see. Okay. Sorry. I don't know what I'm doing here. I've never used this before.
No idea what I'm doing.
Yeah. I just like to pretend. So
maybe as a thought, what we can do is just introductions
okay.
to kick it off and stuff. Like I said, I'm Jimmy Schaefer from Alaska. Bounced around the world a little bit. I'm now an Air Force officer, so program manager. I'm upgrading the Air Force fleets with new electronic warfare, and really excited about taking this MBA because it's online and I don't have to spend like $50,000.
I guess I'll go next. I'm Ashley Adrian. I actually live outside the St. Louis area in Missouri. Work from home remotely for a company. Oh, goodness. Did I lose you guys?
Oh, we can still hear you.
Sorry, my screen changed. Okay. I work remotely from home for a company based out of Nashville, Tennessee, Community Health Systems. I work in healthcare, I guess, essentially, but I do the medical billing and coding. I'm like a manager, so I oversee the medical coders. I have about 20 coders and 2 facilities that I manage, and I do that from home. I've got 2 kids, 2 dogs, a husband, all that fun stuff, and I'm excited about this MBA too because I'm not actually getting my MBA. I'm getting management and healthcare or whatever, but it's online and it's way cheap. I was super stoked about the price of the degree. So that's it.
Okay. I guess I'll go next. I'm Josh Lane. I live in Jackson, Missouri, so not too far from the college. I work in mental health right now. I teach people coping skills, how to deal with their mental health, get them to doctor's appointments. I just moved to a new position where I deal with more people who are more mentally ill than others. I have one guy who doesn't know who he is right now, so it's always fun. Yeah, I'm getting my master's in healthcare management as well, and it's nice because it is quite a bit cheaper than anywhere else I've seen.
Mm-hmm. It is. Well, I'm Jessica. I'm in my last semester of the MBA. I've really enjoyed the program so far. The only struggle I've had is finding the appropriate online courses to have a full load every semester. I ended up having to get waivers and stuff like that for course substitutions in order to graduate this May. So, but ultimately it's been a great program. So I'm excited to be done. I've got a 3-year-old and I have my nephew 5 days a week while my sister travels for her job. I'm a stay-at-home mom while I'm finishing my MBA. Before that, I was director of operations for an internet marketing company. And we're expecting our 2nd child. So I'm actually 7.5 months pregnant. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. We've only got a few classes left and home stretch.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I'm just getting started.
I'm halfway through. I'm ready.
Halfway through.
Awesome. All right. So the only thing I was wondering, and this is just I know we have our stuff to do for our apps, but the thing that I was looking at that I was confused about, aside from this whole virtual meeting thing, was trying to figure out what the massive open online courses is and what exactly we're supposed to do with that. Because I tried looking up stuff earlier, but
I was confused on that too.
Same here.
From what I can tell, and I might be wrong, from what I could tell though, is that's not part of the deliverables. I mean, I don't know. It seems weird because she brings it up again later on in the course. It's that same abbreviation is attached to another assignment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull up her thing right now.
Well,
she said that it needed to be part of the slide attachment or the slide presentation. We had to have one slide with it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. My thought is it may be from an old class, and so maybe it could actually mean the business app because it's still talking about location, the cost, and what it's doing and stuff, kind of like what we have in our Excel spreadsheet, and also for the Word document. I see the same connection. So basically, it's kind of like the Word document talks about the business apps, the Excel talks about the business apps. The presentation now just talks about a mock that's only mentioned in one sentence. So
Yeah.
I can shoot an email out real quick. Just
Well, but she even mentions like the cost of the class, school
Mhm.
offering the class, like
Right.
Seems like mocks in general are additional online classes that you can take as a continuing education thing. I remember one of my bosses took some through Harvard online, mainly just because he wanted to say that he went to school at Harvard. So I don't know if her goal is just for us to do the research to know that those resources are there for us. And in the same way that we selected a collaborative app and we're doing a small report on it, for us to be able to go through and research and say, okay, hey, this class or course might apply to us later in our careers. And just for us to know that it's there, to be able to go through and be like, okay, we found this one. It's offered through MIT. It's this much money.
And
that's the most I can believe.
That makes sense. I guess the question that I would need to ask is, how's that all connected? Because that's the only part that she mentions it. Because it seems like the collaborations for us to get to know these apps, but also kind of work together. But really, just the business app. So I can I'll shoot an email after this and CC you guys in that.
Yeah, there's even a website called mock-list.com that talks about continuing education classes that are coming up in the next 30 days. But like you said, I'm just not 100% sure how it's supposed to tie in, other than for us just to know where to find.
Okay.
Oh, did we lose Ashley?
I think so.
Oh, we lost the group leader. What do we do?
No.
I think I can send her an invite.
Well, I know when I came in late, it just gave me an option to click and join the call. So hopefully she'll be able to jump back on.
Yeah.
I know we only needed to record a couple minutes, so maybe we just hit our time limit. And when she tried to turn the recording off, maybe it.
That's and she just exited out completely. Maybe that might have been it. Yeah. Well, it still says we're live.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's if you go in the group, it shows Ashley's still on here.
Okay, we'll give her a couple minutes, see if we can get her to jump back on. But yeah, Jimmy, if you want to send an email just to confirm, like, is the goal just for us to understand that those resources are there and to list an example of a course that we could take, or is it supposed to be more in depth than that?
Yeah, because definitely the main question is like the fidelity, because it's too broad. I mean, she does give us some deliverables, but got that.
But I know it is brought up again later in the term. There was something else, another assignment down the road that I looked at that had the same type of question attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
if you going on the Google Docs, the group, because it seems like it's because I went ahead and I did my part for the business app on the Word document, and while I was at it, I just wrote an introduction and conclusion for us all. Awesome. It seems really straightforward. We got the Word doc. I created a structure for the PowerPoint presentation. So we just enter our slide in. When we get this turned in, we've got that check marked. The Excel spreadsheet, we have some characteristics that maybe we can go over later in the meeting. And then we have the 4 docs. And so it looks like we're essentially good to go to post it in the next, maybe next week or something.
Yeah, I really think that we can get it done here in the next week and get it turned in early. And
just get it done. There's plenty of other things.
To move on to something different.
Yeah.
So I agree. It seems pretty straightforward now that we've got our apps selected. Oh, you're back.
I'm back. I just got totally disconnected. I have no idea. I didn't push anything. I just got, whoop, I disappeared. And then I could hear you guys talking. I could see you. And then it wouldn't let me back in.
Of course.
Love technology.
Well, so you said you heard everything. So Jimmy's going to email the teacher about the mock deal and just make sure we know what needs to be turned in. And then he was just kind of giving a summary of where we're at with the 4 deliverables. And I guess at this point we can just kind of go through them one by one.
Yeah,
Everyone
that's a great idea.
page. Actually, as far as your portion with the virtual meeting, I don't think that anything needs, the only thing that needs to come from the rest of us is feedback, correct?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah, I have to do like an intro and then like provide my feedback, and then each of you guys provide your feedback and stuff on our experience with the whole virtual meeting.
Okay, so it's like I see this. So that's the Google Hangout Word doc.
Yes, I have it titled as virtual meeting, but yeah.
Yeah, it's called virtual meeting, and each person should add a short paragraph about his or her perception of Google Hangout and the virtual meeting experience. And then Ashley will include a link to our YouTube clip of the meeting, as well as include the introduction, headings, and conclusion, making sure that everything looks cohesive, that we know we're not using different fonts or anything silly. So that one's pretty straightforward. And then Jimmy, you've got the PowerPoint. So do you want to run through that one for everybody?
Yeah, right. My wife and I, we have the same Gmail account, or not the same Gmail account. So when I log on, it logs on her first. So it's like, wait, this doesn't look like mine. Then I realized, okay, all right, pulling it up right now. Okay, so if you all look on slide 2, I just chose this. The military has really branded me big time. Like I'm all about simple and just straightforward. So if you guys want to add more colorful things, please go ahead. More about content. So basically, I have the introduction, got that done. An overview. Basically, we just need introduction. Once we get more fidelity from our professor, we can fill that in. And what I did is I wrote the deliverables that she wants for the slide. So it's the mock, location, school, cost, and description. Maybe now that I'm looking at it, what I'll do is I'll move the description right under the mock. So that seems probably a better way to write that. And then I thought maybe include a picture of the course just for kind of more visual, since it is pretty blasé right now. And then once we get all of our things in, then I can write the conclusion just to kind of summarize all this, and then that takes care of that.
Sounds good.
Any thoughts, comments on that one at all?
Nope.
Pretty straightforward, I think.
Yeah,
pretty easy.
that's what she. And we'll each pick one.
All right. We want to move on to the collaboration app Word doc.
Hang on a second. I got. Hey, please go upstairs.
I heard unicorn.
Yes, that's my son. I don't know. Trying to get them to go to bed. My husband's dealing with them right now.
I do have a question, Jimmy. So
Yep.
The PowerPoint itself, we each have our own slide. School offering, class description of the course. So does the PowerPoint actually have anything to do with the apps we picked?
And so that goes back to the question of asking our professors, just because I feel like it should be the business apps, because that would make the most sense. But
It does make the most sense.
But the thing about it, but if you read the instructions, it's not that. It's clearly the mock. So now that we're all talking together, we're all nodding our heads that it's clearly one or the other. But we'll get fidelity. I imagine that'll be like a group email she'll send out.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. And so cool. Well, I mean, that will be a quick killer, because if it's the business app, it's basically just taking what we write in the Word doc and shrinking into kind of like a bite size.
Yeah.
You guys want to pop over to the collaboration app one? So basically, I have the Word doc that we need to fill out.
Yep, that looks great. So I don't know if you guys have it pulled up, but the for collaboration, Jimmy went through and put everyone app select. I really like how you incorporated the logo of each app. I think that's smart. So we each need to go through and do a couple paragraphs. You know, half a page is the goal. per app and discuss our apps and their features.
Yeah,
The only note that she had made about that in her deliverables was to make sure that we're not just duplicating what's on the homepage of our app. She definitely doesn't want us just to copy and paste the description. So.
Yep. And as a person that just did this, I mean, it is easy to read. I mean, you're simply just summarizing what it is in your own words, and then highlighting the key things that you think it's good, and also it can be useful for
Hey,
business.
go upstairs. Sorry.
That's fine.
I love kids.
Yeah.
I was pretty what's the word assertive in the introduction and conclusion, so please feel free to change that around. That was my first whack at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of just trying to figure out myself as far as like whenever I'm doing the virtual meeting, stuff too, to get an idea of what we exactly need to be putting in the intro. I guess just what we're going to be talking about. Is that I haven't even read yours yet, but
are you referring to the Google Hangouts thing?
Yeah, for just the virtual. Like, I'm just trying to figure out. Like, she said we need to have like an intro, and it needs to like have like an intro to headings and all that.
Yeah, I think if you want, you can just copy and paste kind of like the structure
of what you guys are. Yeah,
just to make it easy. And then for an intro, just a thing that pops up right off the bat is Google Hangouts is a
like what it is
app.
and that.
Yeah, what it is. It's super easy.
Gotcha.
Maybe a short summary and what we used it for.
Yeah.
We used it for the purposes of blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then the headings would be obviously introduction, conclusion, but then also a section for each of us as individuals.
Yeah,
yeah, and you can probably just as a header just say like it was overall received positively because we're all able to talk online right now and work as a group, so I can kind of like foreshadow, or that's the right term.
Yeah.
It's getting late, so my mind's kind of tanking right now.
I think one of the keys is going to be cohesiveness as far as the way the content looks, to make sure that it looks like we worked as a group. So we'll want to use the same font in both Word documents, both the collaboration apps one and the virtual meeting one.
I think that's a great point. As a thought, Ashley, 12 font, single space, Times New Romans. Is that good for you?
Yeah, that's fine. I actually, I think I took, the Jessica's collaboration, or I don't know who did that one. I'm sorry. The collaboration apps. I did steal kind of the top, like the header portion of it already, and kind of copied and pasted it over just to kind of get going on it. But I hadn't made it any further than that at this point. But that's fine. Times New Roman 12 font. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, and then single space.
All right, so then that leaves our app selections and comparisons. See, right now we want at least 6 characteristics.
And I just took a whack at it and threw that out there.
Okay, let's see. We got 5, so we need to come up with at least another one.
Yeah, the 6th one I added, I thought was a learning curve, since one thing in my office, my career field, is you're always learning stuff, and one of the first questions people ask is like, how long will it take?
Yeah.
And so like for mine, I know it was, when I took it up, I was able to pick it up in minutes, whereas other apps that I've learned, it's a whole new process.
Maybe I'm not saying, I'm only counting 5 characteristics. I mean, I didn't count the website necessarily as a characteristic, more for her just to have it in case she wanted to go and see.
Yep.
Description, platform, cost, best use, and learning curve. So we need to come up with one more.
Yep. Good catch.
Okay.
Let's see. Most operating platform.
And as a thought, Josh, I mean, are you planning on kind of like spicing this up once we get all of our things added? Basically, just make it clean it up when we're done with it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep.
All right. Would be
Okay.
I'll work on the
Well, we can consider what another characteristic, and she says at least 6 apps. So if a couple of us come up with a few more, then that can't hurt us to have extra comparisons.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yep.
Great. Yeah. So then that's pretty easy then.
Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward outside of the mock thing, which we'll get hopefully some feedback on either Monday or Tuesday from her.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any specific questions about the remainder of the project?
Well, for me, it's just to kind of go over one quick sweep, just to kind of see we understand everything that's due. We have group folder, which we'll share it with our professors, and that kind of signifies that we submitted it. We'll have the virtual meeting with the link of the recording with all of our descriptions. So an actual item that we need to do is add our paragraphs for that, add our paragraphs for the presentation when we need clarification, add our paragraphs for the collaboration app Word doc, add the characteristics for the Excel. Is there anything else I missed?
No, I think that's it. Do we want to try and come up with a goal of having this turned in? I mean, I know it's not due until the 10th, but with the amount of work that's left to do, are we comfortable with saying, hey, let's try and have this done by Friday morning? Or is that too soon? Do you want to wait till the end of the weekend?
I think by the end of next weekend should be plenty of time for me.
Yeah.
So would then a time Sunday evening be good?
I think Sunday evening will work best for me.
All right. Well, then let's plan to have everything submitted or completed on our end by Sunday evening, and then I'll go over it one more time, and I'll send it to her on Monday.
Okay.
That works for everybody.
That'll work.
All right.
So that is awesome. So we get that moved ahead. Now, when I took a couple peeks ahead of the other schedules for what more the group is going to do, and it looks like she'll give us an option to do a new group, or we can keep the group that we have. So it looks like, at least for now, there's no more group assignments that we can meet up for.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else has anything different.
I haven't looked ahead. Just taking this week by week.
Oh, well, yeah, the thought is, like, at least for our group right now, there's nothing more that requires it to do anything together.
No, nothing.
Okay.
No.
I think we've got another 3 weeks or something like that before she even starts introducing another group project. But I feel like we've made really good progress on this one already. I love that we're going to get it turned in early.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of waiting till the last minute. So that's great.
All right. Well, I'll once we finish up here, I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in there to the live meeting so that it's there. And then we'll get the rest of it done next week or by next Sunday. So,
Sounds great.
all right. It was nice to meet you guys.
Hey, it's great working with you all. All right.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.